Should be now working as intended. Possibly. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. As it says in the stream title, this is going to be super duper low energy. I might even put some music on in the background. Which obviously will render the VOD unusable, but yeah. With Twitch, even if you put on stuff that's supposed to be public domain, their detection isn't good enough, and so they go, can't use that, even though really you can. But anyway. This is taking a while to load. Hey, there we go. Now it's doing the weird thing it does sometimes where, even though I finished off, landed on a planet, you start off hovering slightly above the planet. Bonk.
So be it, Jedi.
Hey, Isham. Very dangerous indeed. I think I've got 2/3 of what am I doing? 2/3 of a biosignal. So basically, well, it's bacteria as well. Thank you very much for the resub, by the way. I see there's a few absolute diehard supporters who have. Oh, did I see that one already? It's bacteria that we're looking for that have remained subscribed even though it's been absolutely ages. Right. Is it going to properly land or? No, see, even though I've got the landing gear down, it's just like, nope. Let's wait for the auto land to kick in, if it will. It's also a possibility it might bug out and I have to go back to the menu and start it again, but yeah. You gonna land? Or are you going to just... No, I think it's bugging out. It's quite an amusing bug in its own way. It just kind of...
Jedi.
I don't know why it does this. Right, let's go back to menu. It kind of gets stuck in an auto-landing loop. Jingles! That's a funny-looking warspite. It is indeed. It's actually my exploration dolphin. Which is not the world's best exploration ship, but, you know, it's workable, it's viable. People have explored in weirder things. I've got it up to, I think, just under 47 light years. And it's not even fully engineered yet, and I know Guardian Engineering lets you add like another 10 light years on top of whatever else you've managed, so... I'm confident I can get it to around 60 light years. A diamond pack. I could probably afford one. Well, I could have afforded one before I blew all my money buying a Federal Corvette, which I still need to actually outfit. I could probably squeeze a little more out of this by taking off the shields entirely, but I don't trust myself enough to do that. I've bonked the ground one too many times. This is taking a while to load in. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming. It might be. Right. Right, I'm trying not to lose my place too much because I did spot a patch of... No, that was way too heavy on the throttle. I did spot a patch of bacteria around here. And as I was exploring earlier, I did 2 scans, and you need 3, so I need 1 more scan of bacteria, and I think it was over that way somewhere. Right, there we go. That sounds like a very Jingles thing to do. Wouldn't it have been more poetic if you'd done it from is it the Clipper? The Cutter? The Courier? I can't remember which one's the top of the line Imperial ship, but yeah. I probably don't even need the callback because I've already got a reasonably spec'd out Type 10. Right, where was it? I know there was a patch around here somewhere. Oh yeah, how are you feeling, by the way, Jiggles? After your little stab in the arm. Whoop! Yeah, this is a low G planet. It's maybe apparent. It's so annoying because I know I saw it, it's just once you're actually on the ground it's incredibly hard to find. Hang on, if I pop into... This kind of helps a little bit, but it's also very finicky. Oh, I suppose that's fair enough. Right, also we are stuck on invisible terrain right now because that's the thing in Odyssey. Yeah, this isn't ideal. Why does it keep... Oh, no! Game. Come on now. Here we go. Well, that's good to hear. Right, bloody bacteria, where are you? Now, by far the most annoying of the... organic discoveries to locate because it's just a different coloured patch on the ground, and it's usually not even differently coloured. It's usually just grey or black. And you can only really see the pattern properly once you're quite close. Ooh. Those tree things, by the way, I've already scanned those, so I won't be able to scan them again. But yeah, they've basically put in a kind of a reasonably limited number, but they've created a lot more variety than it seems like. By some of them are kind of they have like different models, but it's classed as being the same kind of family of life forms, and others are just kind of recolored versions. So it doesn't really feel like a realistic representation of the kind of life you might find, but it's a bit more to do. No, I haven't done any of that. any of the new engineer grinding. I've barely done the any of the old engineers, to be honest. I have unlocked a bunch of them though by doing various things. I mean, of all the engineering things I can do to my ship, the main ones I care about are stuff that will let me jump further. So I've done 2 levels of the FSD so far. I can't remember what I'm missing for the 3rd level. And I've done some light engineering on things like the power plant and the thrusters. Just anything that will reduce weight or power draw or anything like that. Although, with the thrusters, I think, was it like clean energy tuning or something like that? It had the nice side effect of actually boosting the speed. So I can't boost in my Dolphin because I don't have a big enough power distributor for that. But I do have now a speed of something like 310 meters a second, just cruising along, which is pretty decent. Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah, the fact that, yeah, the game designers love to look at what they've done before and go, well, people were willing to do that. Let's inflate the grind even further. The fact that it's not even a free-to-play game. Yeah, that's kind of obnoxious. I might need to hop back in the ship. I've thoroughly lost where the heck this bacteria patch was. I'm a bit distracted by the faffing around with that landing gear bug. I'm honestly not too fussed about the combat stuff anyway. I've tried a bit of it with more invisible terrain. I've tried a bit of it with some friends, and it was kind of moderately fun with a group of people, but it's kind of lacking in imagination, you know? And from what I've been watching on YouTube as well, it just kind of seems like a bare minimum baseline level of acceptable gameplay. In a ship, I've seen videos of people in their anacondas and whatever with their engineered shields just sitting above a base going pew 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 into the ground and killing everything. I've actually done that a bit with my own SRV. You just basically go up to the edge of the settlement, you bait a couple of people out. You obviously have to do this on a side when there's no anti-vehicle turrets, although they're a bit wonky anyway, they don't always target you. And then you just rapidly reverse and you can just repair any damage they might have done. So, yeah. Of course, trying to actually get an SRV into a settlement is a bit of a challenge in its own right. But it doesn't really matter if you can just lure them to the outskirts and then whoever's left in the buildings, you just take care of them. Where did I see that bacteria? And the SRVs are not super tough, especially. Certainly there's no engineering can be done on them, but you know, they're fast. They reverse as quickly as they go forwards pretty much. So yeah, you take a bit too much damage, you just boot it into reverse, drive out of range, repair, and repeat, because the AI won't follow too far. They kind of seem to have a set limit of how far they'll go outside the settlement. Right, I swear there was a patch nearest to where I landed, but I've lost it completely. So I'm just gonna scooch along upside down over the terrain and hope we pass by some more. You say that jokingly, Philbo Baggins, but the wheeled French vehicles in War of the Tanks and War Thunder go backwards as fast as they go forwards, which is kind of a feature in real life, was the way they were built. They could kind of go just about as fast in either direction. Wait, Philbo, is that you, Philbo? I just registered. I was like, oh, that's some rando, and then I was like, oh wait, no, that's Philbo. Okay. I'm slow on the uptake. This is probably not recommended on high gravity planets, but we're like 0.16 G, so... We're looking for more open terrain, the kind of rocky terrain. I've never seen bacteria spawn there. On this planet, it's not like this big wide open deserty plain areas. It's all semi-rocky, so it makes it even harder to pick out the bloody bacteria. Usually if it's planets with just bacteria, I've taken to just skipping them. But in this case, I found 2 patches relatively quickly, so now I just need to find the 3rd. Of course, this is the point. Oh, is that some? It's the point where I spend an hour searching, but no, actually there is some right there, so we'll put down right next to it. This was quite fortunate in that it did not take too long. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You'd think you'd have to, like, decontaminate yourself before you go wading through the big alien bacterial colonies. But no, you just track it everywhere. Right, it was over on this side, wasn't it? I think? Where are you, bacteria? There it is. See, from ground level, you can't bloody see a thing, and even in the SRV you can't, so... yeah. Pain in the arse. There we go. I figured out a thing, by the way, which is quite clever. You have a hidden stamina bar. And the way you can tell when you've run out of stamina is that's when the condensation appears on the faceplate in front of you. Which it took me a little while to peg that's what's going on. That's why the condensation appears. But yeah, you run around enough. Still need to start panting and gasping. Can get it to happen. Oh, it is happening, it's just not very visible. There you go, you can see the specks of condensation at the bottom, or at least I can on my screen. Might not show up very well at 720p. Right, time to boost back off into space. This is not necessarily going to be a super amazing action-filled stream. Most of me going to be pinging planets with probes and landing occasionally. But I think it's been like 4 months, 3 and a bit months since I last streamed. It was end of February, I think, mid-February. We're now into June, so yeah. Right, let's take a look at the old system map, see if I can refresh myself. Yeah, 2 more planets left. And I am, in fact, a scrub that's just been using the Super Cruise Assist a lot. which is mostly fine, except occasionally if you get distracted and let's say you're watching Netflix on the other screen, which is kind of how I've been exploring mostly, you suddenly can turn around occasionally and discover that your target has just occluded behind another planet, and suddenly you slam to emergency halt, which is why my hull is at 95%, because that's happened a couple of times now. I have equipped myself with some auto field maintenance units, but they cannot repair your hull, and as I've discovered, they cannot repair your power plant, so that's now sitting at 98%, which is not really anything to worry about, but if it gets damaged enough that it starts malfunctioning, and I'm 1,000 light years away from the bubble, that might be a problem. Actually, I should just check how we are. Okay, that one's got plenty in still. Hey, Andy One. Right, so what's this planet we're heading towards then? Not one we can land, but one that does have an atmosphere. 1,600 atmospheres. Yeah, that's going to be a lovely place to visit. And then this one, 0.31 atmospheres. That has some rings though, that might look quite nice. These are usually, if you're looking for biosigns, it's usually these types of planets. Ones that have moons that have an atmosphere, or planets that have an atmosphere that you can land on. But occasionally you'll find life on vacuum planets as well. Ones that don't have any atmosphere. I thought we were heading for that one for a moment there, but no, I've actually been to that one already. Yeah, they have changed. Only for Odyssey, if you're still playing on Horizons, everything looks exactly as it did before. For some reason, they added a bunch of graphical updates to menus and stuff, but only for Odyssey. So the menus and stuff aren't even unified now. So in some ways, it's quite nice, but in some ways, it's now a lot more clunky. Like you have to click through different things. Probably the main change that they've made that I actually do really like is on the galaxy map, the search bar is now just kind of permanently at the top. Right, why is the Super Cruise deactivated? I don't know. We don't want to slam into the planet. Oh wait, we've shot past it. Is it because I was looking at the map? I guess so. Can you do a gravity assist? Sadly, there's no proper rocket physics in this one. It's all magical space drives, Latika Mafia, so yeah. You don't really have to worry about slingshots and assists and taking months to travel from one side of a system to the other, because I think people might not quite have the patience for that. The outfitting menu, I don't know why they changed that. You're right there, Philbert. That's a bit strange. That was 100% fixing a thing that didn't need to be fixed. And even selecting your ships from the shipyard screen is now somewhat more of a hassle. Oh wait, this is the last planet. I've skipped over the second to last, didn't I? But you know what? I think we can live without scanning one planet. I think I can cope with that. Right, let's see what we've got to look at. I haven't yet gone far enough that I'm in systems that haven't been visited by anybody. Only about 600 light years from the bubble at the moment. But still plenty of planets that have never been scanned. And of course, as Odyssey hasn't been out long, plenty of planets with life forms that haven't been scanned yet, so you don't really have to go that far at the moment to turn in discoveries that no one else has made. Which of course gets you a nice little credit bonus. It basically doubles the amount of credits you get when you find, you know, you turn in life that hasn't been turned in before. Oh, well, they're not bad rings, but I've seen better. Actually, the annoying thing about scanning ringed planets is the rings get in the way of dropping the probes. So I think I'm just going to spam the probes a bit here and say, screw the efficiency bonus. So I have to unset that so I can actually move around the rings properly. I'm in a what do you call it, group session? I can't remember what you call it now. There we go, let's scan. Right, I don't believe I've got a next jump already lined up. I'm basically just going up. I don't have any particular destination, I'm just going up. That's only 32 light years. How about you? 48 light years. That's going to be slightly out of range. 45. K-class star, so I can scoop from it. You can basically, in this game, you can make private groups. So it's kind of like a private server. It's basically only people that have been invited to that group will see each other. So it's a good way of playing with people you know aren't going to troll the hell out of you. Or, well, you know, they might troll the hell out of you, but then you know who they are, so you can, like, shout at them over Discord or something, I don't know. But they're less likely to just randomly grief you than in open. Oh, that's just a single star. Oh well, we can refuel at least.
System scan complete.
I don't know if there's a way to just like search for groups to apply to. I think you have to know other players. But there's places you can go and ask for groups, like the Reddit or the official forums. Although, like most game companies' official forums, they're probably not really worth visiting. Well, that was a very quick system to scan. 45 light years, red dwarf. Do that in a single jump.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh yeah, I recognise your name from watching Clyde streams. And don't you watch Boom as well, Andy, or am I making that up? I don't know, if you're in Clyde's group, then you'll be able to see the rest of us, but you have to figure out how to join it first, I guess. It's been so long since I did any of that that, yeah.
Fuel scooping.
Right, there we go. Honk the horn, as Clyde calls it.
Fuel scooping complete.
I always try and turn away perpendicular from the star. Or the plane of the system, at least. Before I fire up the FSS scanner. Just because it saves you having to reposition later anyway if the stuff's actually obscured behind the star, which can happen. Right, icy bodies. We might get a moon or two with some atmosphere. So far my best hits have been in systems with gas giants with a few moons. Those seem to relatively frequently have some life signals on. But just icy bodies alone tends to happen less commonly. Well, you can ask Jingles yourself if he's still lurking. You'd certainly be welcome to join Clyde's group. Right, no life signs, no geology. I've not really been bothering scanning the geology planets though, because they're a bit... I don't know, they're a bit boring. You don't even need to leave the ship, you just kind of point your composition scanner at a geyser or whatever and blip, and then, yeah. Plus, you only really get the rewards from the Pilots Federation, which are a lot less than the rewards you you get from handing into Vista Genomics, and of course the map data to Universal Cartographic. So it doesn't really feel as worth the time. Actually, you know what? In the interests of at least keeping things sort of interesting, I'll forgo scanning systems where there isn't any life. Which will certainly speed things up a bit. Right, I think I'm actually not that far off the top of the galactic plane here. It's starting to look really quite sparse, or am I just making that up? Oh, no, I'm making that up. It's just this region is a little bit... Okay, never mind, I'm making stuff up.
Frameshift drive charging.
It would be nice if I can get to the point where I discover a system, where I jump into a system for the first time that no one has jumped into, which I have done before. But I think I jumped out a lot further than I have now. This is a dolphin, Andy, which I've got outfitted for exploration. It's about like if you go and look at one of the outfitting websites and play with all the different possible ranges, it's something like the 5th or 6th on the list of best explorer ships in terms of what you can get the maximum range out to. So definitely not the best, but far from the worst.
Fuel scooping.
Yeah, it basically is. It's the smallest of the Sound Kruger ships. There's the Orca, which is kind of the middle-sized one, and I have seen people say they've outfitted that for exploring. And then the Beluga is the big one. Right, only a single planet, and it's a high metal content world, so it's unlikely that this is going to be anything.
System scan complete.
And it's also been mapped already, so that's fine. I'm not gonna... I mean, I'd still get some credits for scanning it, but yeah. Oh, I could actually land on it though, apparently. So, you know, I could like do some mining or something, but... yeah. But we're not going to. Oh. Okay, that's only a 20 light year jump, but I don't actually know. I've been meaning to look this up, but I don't actually know which stars you're most likely to find Earth-type worlds around. I've scanned a couple of water worlds, but no Earth types. Yeah, silver is definitely one of the better trade goods to be jumping around the place with. The main problem, and I've actually done that in my Type 9, but the main problem is that the places where you can park a Type 9 that make extract silver tend to never have very much of it around. And you can do a bit better if you take a medium-sized trading ship, but of course then you have a lot less cargo capacity to work with. Right, this is a decently sized system, 18 bodies.
Fuel scooping complete.
I don't know if that can be heard, but yeah. Hello. Meow. Come and say hello, Sam. I do still have the webcam, I suppose. I could... The problem is, he's definitely not in a I'm going to settle down at the moment mood. He's in a I'm going to be a butthead mood. So I could put the webcam on, but it's not going to have a cat in it. Yeah, I would assume so too, but I don't know how Frontier have done it exactly. Cat? Cat? No. Sam? Behave? I don't know why I tell him that. It means nothing to him. Even if he could understand, it would mean nothing to him. Nice. Yeah, that's absolutely the dream. I mean, that's what you want to be doing with trading. Trading even is basically make enough profit within a single jump. If you're starting to have to do multiple jumps, then it starts to not be worth it time-wise. What are you being grumpy for? I think in my Python I've got something like 370 tons. It doesn't have the best jump range when it's fully laden though. For some reason people seem very down on the Python and I don't know why. Oh, there we go. 2 biosigns. Bet one of them's going to be bacteria. Right, we're still missing 4. There's 1. I guess we'll scan this whole system. Ah! Oh no, that's juicy. Look at that. 6 biosigns. Now that's worth some cash money right there. And it's a high metal content world as well. That's semi-unusual. Right, well this is a very profitable system. And another 5 biosigns. Oh baby. Of course, when you have lots of biosigns on a single planet, that's the point where you'd start to wish that you could be actively scanning more than one at a time. Especially as some of them seem to be much rarer in instance than others. I'm going to put this cat out before I have to throttle it. Sam, you're a toe rag. Come here. Come on. Yeah, you almost have to engineer the Type 9 a bit with its jump drive. Or else find trading routes that are really close together. I think fully laden mine just about reaches 20 light years. Or is it even that? It might not even be quite 20. But it's a good workhorse, it's made me plenty of credits. That one crater, by the way, I know a bunch of people have criticised the new planet tech, but certain features, when you just see them over and over again, do become very noticeable, and yeah, you end up seeing that particular crater an awful lot. So there we go, that's a nice simple one. I think there's a particular lunar crater it's kind of based on, but it's just the fact that you see it everywhere. It's like when you're in basically any game, you know, Cyberpunk's the one that most recently springs to mind, but when you see the same NPC over and over again, it just kind of starts to stick out a bit after a while. Which scanner are you talking about, Andy? Okay, detailed planet scanner. I mean the surface scanner, this thing. Probably the best tip I can give, and it's harder to figure out where you're aiming on bigger planets. I mean, partly it's just practice, but the best tip I can give, which is It's something that took me a while to notice. And you'll see when we get a bit closer. But the marker it gives you is basically the planet horizon, so you can fire behind the horizon that you can see, which is why it's possible to just sit in one place and spam out a bunch of probes, and especially if you don't care about the efficiency bonus. But yeah, that little white line there, that's the horizon, so it's always off a little bit where you think you're aiming. So that, for instance, is aiming kind of like the direct opposite side of the planet. And this would be aiming pretty much at the horizon.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Is that going to boost me up to it? No, not quite. About there. I am using a controller for basically ship and SRV, and then mouse and keyboard for running around
Complete.
first person, because trying to use a controller for first person in this game is janky as heck. Does not work well, as I discovered. Especially trying to aim at anything. This is probably not the most efficient way time-wise to be doing the planets. I always do them by the system, like the order they are out from the sun rather than whichever ones are closest. Mostly because oh wait, we've actually got 2 stars here as well. Mostly because that's the only way I can keep track of which ones I've scanned already. Because it doesn't really tell you here. There's no way of knowing, oh yeah, I've scanned this one. Because it doesn't like say, it doesn't put a little check mark next to it or anything like that. No, you just have to remember in your head. So therefore I just do them sequentially. Also, that second lot might take a little while to get out to. That's nearly 200,000 light seconds. That's going to be a few minutes travel. But, oh well. I bet that's where the juicy moons with all the life signs are as well. Kind of half tempted to put some music on. I did say I might put some music on. Let's have a look, see. What'll do? I can always try my luck with some video game music. Maybe that won't run afoul of Twitch's copyright bot thingamy. Oh, I know what would be a good one to put on. Where is it lurking? Here we go. Don't know why it keeps saying failed to connect to the Thingamy server, by the way. That's a bit peculiar. let's turn the bass volume of that down a little bit, and there we are. Some appropriately spacey themed music. Do let me know if the volume's okay, by the way. Hey look, it's that crater again.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Right, oh wow, that's got some super rare... Oh, Cactoida! I've not seen any Cactoida yet. So we've got Cactoida, Tussock, which is basically just kind of like grasses, shrubs, which look very similar to tussocks. So this is the 6 signal world. And of course, bacteria, fungoids, osseous. Okay, so there's a whole lot here. We might have to do some hopping around. This planet might take a little bit of time. Let's go for the rarest first, the Cactoida. Now the problem with this, or the annoyance, is that once you dip below a certain altitude, this lovely highlighting just kind of vanishes. So then you're stuck trying to vaguely remember. Let's do this day side because it's going to be easier to see the terrain features. Basically stuck trying to remember the patch of ground that you are aiming for. Where are you? You cheeky little cactoids. I'm coming for you. I actually have to pull a bit further away so I can get a better view. Switch the scanner view. Is there absolutely none on the day side? Oh, what? There's a bit, there's a bit, there's a bit. Which bit do I want to aim for? Which looks like the bigger patch? One of the weirdnesses that has been noted by many people is the fact that you can be literally tens of thousands of light years away from the bubble and planets will still populate with distress beacons and crash sites and hidden stashes and yeah. Right, we're aiming for that patch there, which is about to disappear. Okay. Oh, you can kind of see it. Okay, it's that rougher ground, that kind of rougher depression there. That's where we're looking. I mean, this system with just these, what, 3 moons? Planets / moons with life is probably worth over 1 million credits. But of course, the amount of time it's going to take me to gather it all, time-wise, definitely not efficient. Apologies for any creaking, by the way. The thingy cylinder on my chair is giving out, so it tends to just sink down randomly. Very red sky, much like the planet that I landed on in my video. Let's go look for some space plants. You can order replacement, like, cylinders or mechanisms, or I don't know what you call it exactly, but then you have to make sure you've got the one the right size, and you have to take the bloody chair apart, and I can't be bothered. I might just resort to that, now that you've said that and given me that idea. Because I only need it to stay at the one height.
Jedi.
Hey Philo, yeah, it's been a little while. Right, that is... that's shrubs. A shrubaway. It's a space shrubaway. But, we're not going to scan that just yet. I want to find these cactoids. We might also be able to pick up some minerals while I'm here. Oh, is that going to be it? Now, you can... I've discovered you can use the composition scanner, although it's a real pain in the ass to do so, but I don't know. I think fully scanning with your hand scanner is the same as pinging it with a composition scanner in terms of getting Pilots Federation reward. I think. But it doesn't pop up the same way. So I don't actually know. But once I've fully scanned something with the hand scanner, it then doesn't give that same message when you ping it with the composition scanner. So I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, thank you very much for that resub, Philo. That's definitely much appreciated. So is this the cactoida? There we go, first footfall. I have a bunch of those at this point. You don't get anything for it, but there you go. Yeah, there we go. That is cactoida. It looks squishy. I wish I could poke it and watch it squish. Poke, poke, squish, squish. Anyway. I've been in space too long. I want to cuddle the plants. It's probably a bad sign. There's a bunch of them there. I'm actually getting a fairly strong scanner signal through this direction, so I'm just going to drive this way. I might collect some materials while we're here. Especially a planet with 6 life signs. Woo! 6 whole life signs. It's probably the most I've seen on any one planet so far. You can almost just take the time to drive around, collect materials and scan stuff. Whoop. Pew pew pew. Zinc. I don't think there's going to be anything special in this one. Nickel. It's the is it like metallic meteorites or whatever they're called that seem to give the rarest stuff. God. See you, Andy. Whee! Yeah, it's not particularly high G, so things are a bit skiddy. Hey Nikos! Lies. You're hallucinating. You should see a doctor. You should definitely see a doctor. It's a very strange hallucination you're having right now. Nice, okay, did you just get the base game? I mean, these days, I would kind of, like, if you can get the base game and Horizons, I would probably wait on getting Odyssey, to be honest. But even the base game, you can still bop around and do plenty, I guess. It just means you can't do any of the engineering stuff. But that's sort of, I don't know, semi-advanced anyway. I mean, if you put it on sale and play it and decide, yeah, I really like it, then, you know, you can get the rest later on, I suppose. Whereas, oh, if you don't, then you haven't spent very much and it's fine. Right, clearly it's not like I'm having to render all these rocks all of a sudden. My FPS is just going bloop. Oh, right, okay, that's good. Well, alright then. Completely disregard what I said. Come on, go up, forwards, over the rock. Oh, I see. Okay. I did not know that. I thought they were all still completely separate. Well, that's good though, because there's such a lot in Horizons that's kind of like now quite important to the game. Hey, Costas. Ugh. I'm surprised somebody hasn't come up with like a low G rally championship yet. Right, there goes my ship. Far enough away that it's now flying off on its own. Right, signals all over the place actually. The benefit of exploring is you find basically pristine worlds, which, in terms of resources, so they're relatively common. Hey, Wombat! Whee! Yeah, just driving like a madman. Is this thing below me? Yes. Mesodiderite. Okay, we've got some rarer materials there, which is nice. Ooh. Cadmium. Tin. Which is, I only actually recently got my first tin. It was weird. Apparently tin is super weird, super rare in space. Basically, this is a planet with a whole bunch of life forms. So that's a semi-new thing. There were kind of some space plant life things that you could find previously. But this has added a whole bunch more, and it's allowed you to actually get out your vehicle and explore now. Iron, I can't actually pick up. I'm full of iron. Which is fine. Right, I'm getting a bit distracted. We need to find some more of those cactoids. I think we need to go back to the higher ground for that. No killer tomatoes yet. Although this sky is really reminding me of tomato juice right now. Right, where are you squishy cactus things? Whoop. Hey, AGC. This is fine. This is fine. This is completely fine. 100% fine. That was meant to happen. Sam was being a butthead, so he's outside at the moment. Although I did just leave the bathroom window open because it's kind of warm here. Probably not as warm as it's been in other places, but yeah. Just to vent some heat from the house, quite nice. Right, plants, where did you all go? I seem to have lost all the plants. close to some minerals there.
So be it,
Materials.
Jedi.
AGC with the sub, thank you very much, sir. I mean, God, if nothing else, I should have not left it nearly so long with streaming, because apart from anything else, the like the Patreon support's gone down a bit because, you know, for various reasons people have had to pull their support because, oh no, that's iron, I've already got iron, because, you know, times is tough. And so really the smart thing to do would have been go, oh yeah, I should stream more so I can make up the difference. And then, you know, I didn't, because my brain is stupid, and oh, there's a cactoid thing right there. So, you know, yay depression and all that. But here I am, finally. It's only taken me 4 months. It's so squishy! Seriously, I just want to poke it. Squish. Squish. Can I jump on it? I don't think it's more bouncy than the terrain, sadly. It feels like I should be able to jump on it and jump really high, but I already kind of can because, well, jetpack. That'll do it. Right, we need another one of those and then we can get the shrubs, I guess. That was the other thing that was common in this area. I mean, there are some that look worryingly like the egg pods from Alien. They do exist, and I kind of feel like that was a deliberate design choice by the elite devs. Ooh. Big frame rate stutter there. I'm not even recording this locally, I am just streaming. Whoop. There are little rocket boosters on the SRV, like, let you hop, but yeah, half the time it feels like they're more of a hindrance than a help when I try and use them. Right, fuel reserves at 25%, so I'll have to synthesize some fuel soon. Phosphorus, nickel, this is all kind of basic stuff. But that's fine, we'll take it. Iron we've got, so that's fine. Whoop. Drive off the edge at full speed, that would be a bad plan. Oh, this music's super quiet at the moment, hang on. I think it's just one of the quieter tracks. I imagine this would be completely nauseating to do in VR. Because one of the things they did not actually do was allow you to walk around in VR. You can still do all the stuff you could do previously in VR, but you can't do any of the new stuff in VR. Which is possibly yet another sign that the development of this was a little hasty. It was possibly put out a little prematurely, maybe. Right, so that's that sample done. I'll try and find some shrubs. That's the other thing that we could find in this area. Or I could... maybe I'd just jump in my ship. Yup. I think the atmosphere on this planet probably barely qualifies as well. Right, I think it's probably just going to be quickest to recall the ship, to be honest.
Ship recalled.
So while that's coming back in, I'm going to get myself some more water. Yeah, FTL really does, like, the soundtrack fits really well for this game. When they started making soundtracks available on Steam, I think this was the first one I bought.
Landing gear deployed.
In fact, did I even get it through Steam? I might have actually bought it through Ben Prunty's website. I think I must have done. I think he also did the music for Subnautica, the new Subnautica. I'm pretty sure that was Ben Prunty anyway.
Landing gear retracted.
Right, sadly, even though you can bring up the planet view, you can't see any of the scanning data. Look, there's two of those bloody craters right next to each other. So you basically have to kind of climb back up to orbit and then land again. If you want to see the actual highlighted map from your surface scanning to figure out where stuff is.
Landing gear deployed.
External view, I can... Well, we're kind of there right now, but... Yeah, I can also... oh, actually, I won't be able to right now. I'll go underneath. This is my ship. Which I can actually jump on top of. They started kind of like Red Dead 2 does with its premium currency, where you can earn it in game. There's a capped amount that you can just earn per week by doing stuff in Elite, and I finally scraped together enough to get a paint job, which is kind of, well, you can see it's kind of metallic orange. So yeah, it's essentially, as you might assume from the big passenger windows and the big sunroof, it's entirely a passenger ship. Which, as we know from the history of safety with jet airliners, what you want is big square windows to really help enhance the integrity of your ship. And it definitely won't make it fall to bits as a result of metal fatigue. But, you know, sci-fi space game with future technologies, I suppose they can get away with silly things. Whatever, we have faster than light travel and giant starfish aliens, so I think we can at least suspend our disbelief that much. Right, this is tussock rather than shrub. They do look quite similar when you're far away. Well, let me scan. There we go. Space weeds, pretty much. Right, now I just need to drive far enough away that it's going to let me scan another sample because these are all much too close. So there's some more materials over here somewhere. Fairly close.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Cadmium. Are there narcotics in this game? I know there's like illegal stuff that you can only sell on the black market, but
Cargo scoop retracted.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's like literally... I don't know if you can become a space heroin transporting guy in this game. I think I've actually got one of the X series games. It's either X3 or X4. It'll be X3 because it's on a CD-ROM. And I think I tried installing it once and then couldn't figure out what the hell was going on, so yeah. It's certainly one of the many games that basically owes its existence to the original Elite. I think the first time I saw Elite was on... God, what would it have been? It was on one of the... I mean, we're going back 20 years here, but it was on one of the very old computers that was at my school at the time. I think there was literally one or two classrooms that still had BBC Micros, because they were the only things that could plug into certain other things. And be used for very simple coding tasks. I seem to remember hooking them up to little robot arm things, using them to tell it what to do. There was all sorts of weird classroom computers. It was a weird mix of Acorns and 86s and yeah. Kinds of weird niche things. I'm pretty sure at some point somebody gave me a copy of the original Elite on a floppy disk as well. Right, there only seem to be grasses in the immediate area, so I might hop back up to orbit briefly so I can take a look at the scanner. I know now that I've also got 2 of the 6, I know which of the 2 I've got, so it's kind of important to remember. Otherwise you end up wasting time hopping back and forth. Right. For some reason I couldn't remember if it was the left panel or the bottom panel.
Retracted.
Now that's a sight. Just the atmospheric haze around. This game is absurdly pretty. It's one of the few things that it does exceptionally well.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Basically, I have to go up far enough that I can actually engage the surface scanner. There we go. So bacterial colonies, which are actually quite... Oh, no, wait, that's the cactoid fungoids. Let's go for them next, shall we? Okay, this is less clearly defined, so I think it was kind of roughly here. Last time it was quite easy to tell what bit of what, you know, what area we were aiming for, but yeah. Right, what kind of fungoids are we looking for is the question. Yeah, it's definitely one of the many, many small quality of life annoyances that hopefully are addressed in future patches. Like the ability to see what you've scanned without having to go back all the way into orbit to actually see it would be really quite nice.
Gear deployed.
Right, I think they're going to be lumpy, waxy ground things that I'm looking for. Let's see what we can see. When you're within a certain distance of the planet, yeah, you can deploy probes. There's a module you have to fit to your ship that allows you to do it, but yeah, you can fire off probes which give you a more detailed scan of the surface and let you see where certain geological and biological features are, which is what the blue highlighted areas were. But when you're actually on the ground, even though you can go, oh yeah, I can look at the surface map, that information is now absent. You really should be able to see it from this view, but you cannot. So yeah, big oversight, definitely. There's kind of like different levels of scanning. So when you first jump into a system, you can scan at a distance and get a certain level of information about the different planets. And then if you want to get more detailed information, you actually have to go up close to the planets and drop probes on them. Is that shrubs or is that more... That's more grass. Whee! might be they only grow in the rougher ground. I found some planets, it'll indicate an area where, you know, such and such a thing grows, but then you actually have to be on a specific kind of terrain to find it within that area. Some can take quite a bit of hunting to find. And then there was one occasion when I just straight up couldn't find what was supposed to be. There we go, there it is. Oh wait, no, these aren't the ones I'm thinking of. These are the giant mushroom things. Kind of mushroom fluted things. Yeah, there was supposed to be like 5 types of life form, and I could only find 4, and after like an hour I just gave up looking and decided that it must be bugged. Because I have come across plants with bugged textures as well. And I could tell because it was bright glowing white. And it clearly wasn't supposed to be bright glowing white untextured. Right, so it is in the rougher ground we're looking for those. I bet the secret plot twist of what are they called? Something genomics, Vista Genomics. They're actually just a front for a secret intergalactic illegal drugs cartel, and the reason they're paying you for all this genetic data is they're looking for new highs. So yeah, that's my headcanon now, is you are literally looking at out hunting for new types of space weed and space mushrooms. Because, you know, they do pay suspiciously well, just saying. It will make sense if they're interplanetary drug dealers. Hey, Freezer. Ooh. Right, I suspect these mushrooms are going to be annoyingly hard to find on this planet. Just have to keep looking for these rougher patches of terrain and hope we get lucky. I suppose if we find a moon with 6 different types of life, we'd be a bit hopeful to expect that they are all incredibly abundant. Giant spiral mushroom things that are reasonably easy to spot once you do see them. Oh, okay. Sometimes it's the more innocuous looking rocks that are the most annoying. Sadly not, no. The wave scanner still only has its original functionality. You can't switch mode to search for bio signs. Which is another one of those quality of life things that would have been really nice, that FDev then just either didn't think about or thought about and then discarded. So, oh well. We'll just do the old Mark 1 eyeball, at least once you're on the ground anyway. Yeah, the LOD pop in for the grass is quite noticeable. But I can kind of forgive them that because, you know, stalks of grass is going to be... Like, if you want to make it noticeable at a distance at all versus what it looks like close up, yeah. I suppose there is a good way to do that. Okay. I will indeed try not to end up with space herpes. Right, this is a nice big, rough patch of ground. Let's see if we can find some more mushrooms here. There's definitely a fair bit of aimless driving around at times. I end up doing it too long and I usually just summon the ship and fly upside down for a bit. Right, we're going to have to synthesize some more fuel. Oh, it's in inventory, isn't it? SLD refuel.
Fuel replenished.
There we go. Yeah. Come on, space mushrooms, where are you? Hey, there's one. I almost wish you had the option of turning in partial samples for a reduced amount of credits. Especially for the rarer ones or the bacteria where it can just be a complete pain in the arse. It would be nice if you could just shrug your shoulders and go, well, I'm not going to hunt for any more of those, and I'll just turn in what I've got and get something for it at least. But at the moment you either commit or just give up entirely and throw away whatever you have and get nothing for it. Whee! Oh, is that space room or is that rock? It's a rock. Alright. Some kind of signal over this way, so I'll take a little diversion. up some materials while we're here. Freezer, thank you very much for the bits. Whoop. And that's some invisible terrain. This planet's not been so bad for that. Some planets are really bad. You just end up with invisible lumps of ground everywhere that you're constantly smacking into. Which is a wee bitty annoying.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Oh, we've got iron we can't pick up because I'm full. Zinc we'll have. That's nickel. I really do hope I do find it in less than 5 minutes. My record so far at trying to complete all 3 samples is like an hour, which was for bacteria. It was when I was recording that video I put up on my channel. I think I mentioned in the video itself, but I ended up having about 5 hours of playtime and about 3 hours of video footage that I cut down to that 40 minutes. But part of it was entirely my own fault. Derping and picking the wrong thing from the codex to go and fly to. Oh, is that the top of a mushroom? No, it's a mound of dirt. Okay. I did wonder at first if those little dust clouds signified anything, but no, they don't. Appears to be purely for visual flavour. It's their one attempt at signifying anything approaching any kind of atmospheric conditions. I do wonder if they even ever had the idea of they were going to have weather on the planets that we were on, or if they just thought about it for like 5 seconds and then went, nah, that's too hard. It would have been really cool to land on a planet and have, I don't know, like methane rain or something. But sadly, we don't get anything that cool. Treat for Sam. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Thank you very much, Uncommon. Let's head for that rough ground over there. I hope I'm still within the right area. I've got no way of telling without summoning the ship and climbing back up, which I might have to do. So otherwise, I have absolutely no clue. At least not from the ground. Hey, nope, there we go. There we go. Excellent. Space mushrooms. So that's 3 of 6. I might not even bother trying to get the bacteria on this planet, to be honest. Theoretically, where we are, terrain-wise, we, you know, have every chance of seeing it, but haven't so far. Because sodding bacteria. Right, so that leaves the shrubs, and there was something else. I've forgotten what it was, but we'll see when we climb back up and get the scanner data.
Ship recalled.
Just appreciate the music for a moment. There it is. Watch it coming in. Okay, we've got all this flat area in front of me, and you choose to over on the other side of the. Of course you do. I think my ship's autopilot might be a cat. That seems like the sort of thing Sam would do. True. The cat would probably ignore the beeping coming from the console and continue licking its bottom for at least the next 15 minutes. Before finally deciding, yeah, maybe I'll come down and fetch you, but only because my food bowl needs refilling. 3, 2, 1, engage. Come on, let me ping that. There we go. Right, cactoid, fungoids, osseous, and shrubs. Osseous are practically everywhere, we just haven't seen them yet, so shrubs is what we're aiming for now. Hopefully we can pick up the osseous along the way. Let's land at the edge of that rougher area. It's probably a good thing that my power distributor is rated low enough that I can't actually boost anymore, because I would almost certainly have boosted myself into the ground at some point, just through patience. No, that's the cargoes. Well, I mean, you saw what happened on the video when I got caught out by a planet having higher gravity than I was used to. Right, I can already see some osseous over there. Those are the waxy looking things. I was thinking were the other things earlier. And I suspect the shrubs will be in the higher ground.
Low gravity warning.
What's the fungoids? I swear I saw someone like going crazy. Maybe it was the fungoid I saw just the edge of. Yeah, I keep getting that com offline message popping up periodically in the top left, so their chat servers are definitely down. Fortunately, nothing else seems to be impacted. It's a good thing your SLV gets auto-repaired every time you put it back in the ship. I mean, you can just repair it on the fly anyway, but of course that costs materials. Got something in the distance, what's that? Better not be more space mushrooms. Oh. Yep, no, that's more spirally space mushrooms. Good dang it. Just gonna double check that they're not some similar looking but entirely different species. No, definitely the same ones. Right, let's head for the hills over there then. Oop. It was there was a kind of rough area where I very first landed where there were shrubs, so maybe the shrubs are only in the rough ground. Either the high terrain or the low terrain. It's definitely tussock, yes, yes. I've been going for like nearly 2 hours and I've only just realised that I didn't bother asking at the start if my voice levels are okay relative to the rest of the game, but I suppose they must be, or somebody would have said something by now. Yeah, none of you that polite, surely. See you, Uncommon. I shall quite possibly put the VOD up on YouTube, but it probably won't be any more exciting than anything you've seen already. Is that more space mushrooms? We don't want space mushrooms. We've already got the space mushrooms. I mean, I know for a fact the shrubs are here because we have seen them already, but I'm starting to wonder about the osseous. Wait, just to double check. Is that the osseous? No, that's the fungoida, surely. Oh no, that's the osseous spiralis, so we have gotten the osseous already. So what was the one I haven't got? Right. You know how I was saying earlier about it's important to remember which one you've gotten and which one you haven't gotten? Anyway, that's fine. But we know the shrubs are around here somewhere as well, supposedly. So we'll just keep looking for those. Right, those spirally things are the osseous. Right. So it's the fungoides, or whatever they're called, that I haven't yet actually scanned. So osseous, tussock, and cactoidae. Yes, everything else no. Alright. That's now straight in my head. Good. This is the annoyance of plants that only grow in the rougher areas. So you don't have to drive through said rough areas. Just bounce and bump all over the place. Which gets a bit wearying after a while. A little bit. At least you can't get stuck in the same way. There's no space mud to get bogged down in, or space snow for that matter. I almost kind of wish I'd stuck and tried to scan the shrubs at the first place where I landed, because I definitely saw them there. I think I kind of lost track of where they were and decided it was just going to be easier to call the ship down. Plot twist, it wasn't. With retrospect. See, AGC? Oh, there we go. I was complaining about them and they appeared. That's how it works. So yes, this is the right sort of terrain to find these things. So this is 4 of 6. Frutexa metallicum, apparently. I've tried to give everything rather Linnaean sounding scientific names. Which I suppose beats calling everything space mushrooms, space grass. Space egg things that look like the things from Aliens, so don't stick your face in them. You know, names like that. Oh, there's another little patch. Hopefully this is far away enough from the initial one. Yep. Good, good. Well, frame rate tanked for a second there. Definitely likes the extremely jumbled rocky areas a lot less than the smooth open plains for some reason. I suspect there is a lot of optimizing left to do. Is that more shrubs? Nope. I was definitely seeing things for a second there. You can see why I normally do this with Netflix or YouTube open on my other screen. It's that sort of activity. Hopefully the payoff will all be worth it. Oh, a bit of osseous there. Oh, obviously it's osseous. I mean, who wouldn't recognise that as being osseous? I mean, come on now. Clearly osseous. Only a fool wouldn't recognise that as being osseous. Come on, little shrubby wubbies, where are you? Yeah, that would work too. Or the radio, or music, I guess, or just, I don't know. Anything. It's just at that level of gameplay where it's not quite engaging enough that you can just sit and do it without needing some other kind of input. But at the same time, it means you can have other stuff going on and it's not going to distract you too much from what gameplay is going on. Right, we're just smooshing into all the big rocks now. Come on, little shrubbies. No, you're around here somewhere. That's how people get plants to grow, right? They talk to them. So, in theory, logically, the exact same thing should work for finding space plants. I don't know why that would be at all logical and follow on from the other thing, but just, you know, just bear with me. Just go with me. It's somehow completely logical inside my head. After I've been alone in space for 78 years, well, not quite that long. Maybe not quite that long. The many hours I've spent exploring and mapping and scanning Still somehow feel like less time than that single game that I put up in the California earlier today. Now there's a ship that makes you feel like time dilation doesn't need fancy high-tech gizmos and rockets and whatever. And you just play that and everything suddenly seems to be passing at a different rate. I actually smacked it around enough that we're now at half health to repair the hull. Come on, little shrubbies. Where are you hiding? Even if the scanner would just give you some very vague sense of direction, it would be nice. Instead of just having to drive around more or less aimlessly. Hope that you find the thing you're looking for. It's not nearly so bad with the more abundant life forms, but you get some more infrequent ones and it does start to really drag after a while. Whoop. It's not even the kind of terrain where I can fly over and then just set down when I find a patch, because there's hardly anywhere I can actually land. And of course you can't place down markers for yourself on the surface, so yeah. I'm sure they got a lot of this feedback during the so-called closed alpha that they did. Yay! There we go. But there was such little time between the alpha and the release that, yeah. It doesn't feel like they'd have had a chance to actually implement any of the useful feedback that they might have gotten. Right, so that's 4 of 6. Now we're not going to bother with the bacteria, because in theory, with the amount of driving around I've done, I should have actually seen some by now, so screw that noise. Let's see if we can bring the ship in. And find the last thing. Which I think should be the fungoids. Did I definitely call her? Oh, there we go. I swear I pressed the key, but maybe I didn't. Hopefully I can find somewhere around here to land. So the advantage of having a small-sized explorer ship is that it's easier to park it in places where the bigger ships would struggle a bit. There it is.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, good, you've put the bay right under a big lump. Okay, let's hope I can actually still get this in there. There we go, just about.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 1.
It may be getting a little late, but I don't know, I guess I'll go for a while longer. Factoid fungoids. Osseous. So bacteria should be all over the place as well. So yeah, fungoids. Is, I think, the thing we're looking for. Yeah, it does. That's the one thing you can't do, though, is land on planets that have any kind of liquid on the surface, sadly. It'd be great if you could. Maybe they don't trust us not to all splash our ships into the water and sink, like that one episode of Futurama.
Landing gear deployed.
That would be pretty damn cool. Freezer. Yeah, packing a mini sub. Honestly, I don't know if I can see Frontier doing that, but I would love it if they did.
Low gravity warning.
Right, fungoids. What are we looking for exactly? Oh yeah, it would be stupid, but you know, we're talking about video game publishers here, so yeah. Well, that's more osseous, right? Well, I'm now paranoid enough to check. Blue. It's blue, so that's fine. I am now wondering if this is like that other planet that I mentioned earlier, where there was supposed to be X number of life forms, and then one of them just wasn't showing up anywhere I looked. I can fully believe that there are bacteria and I just haven't run across them because screw bacteria. Bacteria colonies are by far the most irritating thing to look for. Let's just look at the codex for a quick second. So we're looking for some kind of... Oh, no, I don't actually want to bring up the galaxy map. So, yeah, we haven't seen anything like any of these. Kind of blobs on stalks. Grassy looking kind of things with pods on the top, or kind of stemmy looking woody structures. We've seen nothing like that on any of the areas we've been so far. We'll look a little while longer, but I'm starting to suspect that they are supposed to be here but not. Because Odyssey is full of bugs like that. It's the kind of thing that you should be able to absolutely see as well. Hey! P-slack. P-slack. Although, you know, I know from YouTube that it's Peter Slack, but anyway. P-slack. If I sound a bit crazed, it's fine. It's just space. Space has made me crazy. Also, some of the bugs in this update. Mostly space. I am really beginning to think the fungoids are a lie. And I feel a bit shortchanged as a result. Because, you know, it's the sticky up out of the ground plants that are at least somewhat reasonable to find. If one of them is just going to be straight up invisible and not there, then... yeah. Oop. Yeah, I'm very close to giving up on trying to find these. Whee! That sounds like some kind of nerd joke that I'm far too cool to understand, Latika Mafia. Although I was really impressed by that terrible, terrible pun you sent me the other day. Considering that, you know, being Finnish, English is very much your second language. To produce a pun of that awful caliber is definitely an achievement. Does Finnish even have puns, or is it all just jokes about moose? And, I don't know, the Swedes. And how the Swedes smell like moose. Because I imagine moose do not smell particularly fragrant. Right, unless these things are disguising themselves as bloody rocks, I am at a bit of a loss. I still haven't seen any bacterial colonies either. So, oh well, we're going to have to write off those two. Let's call in the ship! I'm getting very tempted by the idea of a hot chocolate, so I might abandon you all for like 3 minutes and sort myself some hot chocolate out, because hot chocolate. I can enjoy the red skies. You have finger potty. Is that a pun? Is that some kind of haute couture Finnish fragrance that smells like moose and or a Swedish person? The smoke is just meant to be dust. It's just meant to be a random dust cloud. They seem to just be randomly generated little dust clouds and slightly bigger dust clouds. You can sometimes see plumes from things like geysers and fumaroles and whatever, if those are around. But yeah, the little dust clouds are their best attempt at making any kind of weather on any planet. It's just little puffs of dust. That's it. That's what you get. Well, I guess the auto mod is Swedish. Or maybe Danish. We all know the Danes hate fun. Right, right, there you go. Link away! Oh god, let's have a look-see. Wow, that's bad. That's quite bad. Okay.
So
Oh, hey Clyde!
Jedi.
How are you? You turned up just as I'm going to get myself some hot chocolate, so yeah. I've even got a thing, hang on. There we go, let's stick that on screen. So yeah, enjoy the red sky. I'll point you at outside for a bit. Yeah, that'll do. Get the horizon just right.
Your business is appreciated.
Right, I am back. Sam is back. He's had a good meow at me. In fact, here he is now. Hello, Sam. Meow. Go on, say hello to the people. See, now I want you to say something. You're not going to say anything at all. Rat bag. Cats. Anyway. So, yeah, we're done with this planet. Supposedly, there's 2 more life forms that I can scan, but nah. One appears to actually not be here, and the other is bacteria, so F that noise. No!
Your
Cat.
business is appreciated.
No, that's my hot chocolate. It's not your hot chocolate, it's mine. You don't get to stick your cat face in my hot chocolate, thank you very much.
Frameshift drive charging.
I was eating an orange the other day and he was being super nosy, as he does every time I eat any kind of food. So I went, okay Sam, if you want to, if you're so interested, here, have a bit, and I just thrust a bit of orange peel in his face, and for some reason he wasn't so keen on that, strangely enough. Gave me a bit of a dirty look, didn't you, Sam? Right, next planet is... it's 4, right? We're at 3. Yeah, it's 4. 4 being the one that comes after 3, traditionally speaking. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Yeah, I know, Clyde, I know. I know. But it means I can sit and stroke my cat and drink my hot chocolate. And can see if there's any comments on my YouTube video. And actually, is there any comments on my YouTube video? Let's have a look. Fly myself like some kind of peasant. Good grief. It's quite nice hot chocolate. I think it's from Germany. We actually have a tea shop here in the Outer Hebrides, because of course that's where you would have a specialty tea shop. But yeah, it's run by a couple of Germans, and they actually get most of their stuff from various German suppliers. Which of course, naturally, Brexit all made a whole heck of a lot harder. I think there was actually 1 or 2 suppliers they couldn't then get stuff from. Because they just decided, or the suppliers decided, oh, we're not going to bother with Britain anymore. But yeah, the hot chocolate they get in is, I think, from one of those German suppliers, so it's quite nice. Well, it is quite nice. I'm not saying it's from Germany, therefore it's nice, because that wouldn't really logically make any sense. But anyway, it is from Germany, and it is nice. There we go. It's a slightly more accurate statement. So were you doing ships today, Clyde, or what were you up to? What have you been doing in Elite anyway? I was hanging out with Boom and a couple of others in Discord the other day, and they were doing, I think, engineer materials grinding, or was it? No, it was Guardian engineering they were doing. boats, then submarines in Subnautica. Okay.
Surface scanned by 50%.
I'm kind of glad I didn't rush in and buy Subnautica Early Access, because it does seem like there's a lot less game there. Plot-wise, compared to the original. Which for some people I suppose is not going to be a bad thing. But yeah. This is very nice, this hot chocolate. I keep thinking to myself, someday I'm going to remember to buy some marshmallows so I can be super extra decadent and have hot chocolate with marshmallows in. But I always forget. Although sometimes I do, and this is pretty damn decadent, I do like to get some chocolate hobnobs. I suppose most of you won't know what a chocolate hobnob is, but it's basically an OT biscuit with a, you know, bit of chocolate on top. One of those dipped in some hot chocolate. Oh, that's good. It is pretty damn decadent. Hot chocolate with the chocolate biscuit dipped in it. Oof.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Yeah, you really like to do your
Scan complete.
base buildy stuff, though. Right, discounting the bacterial colonies, we have Concha? I don't even know. Tubus towers, shrubs, and tussocks. So this one also has a bunch of. Yeah, I've struck Payda in this. Wait, where's the planet? I've lost the planet. I've struck Payda in this system. I've lost my orientation. Where am I? Nope, that's it's the wrong way. It's this way. I know what I'm doing. Right, it's fine.
Orbital flight
It's fine.
engaged.
Totally fine. Can you tell I've been doing this for a little while? I have to do some awkward zigzaggy maneuvers to bleed off speed. I mean, I suppose, but if I wanted a pure base building game, I'd probably go for something else. Other than Subnautica. Right, this is very pockmarked looking. Also weird little dimpled fissures. Which is definitely the correct geological term, yup. Right, if you liked my Super Cruise assist, you're going to like my landing assist even more.
Flight
At the point where it actually decides to kick in. There we go. Hang on, can we get the cat cam on the go? You're already triggered. Excellent. My work here is done. Right, are you gonna... This is awkward because Sam is right on the frickin' desk. So I don't know if it can even focus that close. Hang on, Sam. Yeah, I know I'm doing something weird. Ah, there we go. Let's untangle a cable from a bunch of other cables. Right, if I... Is it... There we go. Sam Cam! Which just shows a moving fluff thing. Because he's right on the desk. Technically, it is indeed showing Sam. The best we're going to manage at the moment. You do have to be awkward, don't you, cat? Yes, you're a very awkward cat. Oh, there we go. They can see your whiskers. Yes. So awkward. Right. Let's find a thing. Let's scan some stuff. That's why we're here. Yes. I remember. What are we doing? The space game. Yes.
Low gravity warning.
I'm pretty damn sure that the last planet I was on had a life form that was supposed to be there and then just wasn't. So that was fun. Wasting my time looking for a thing that wasn't rendering in or was missing from the files or whatever. Closer! I know. Literally can't place the camera. Like, there isn't enough reach on the USB cable to place it particularly far from the computer. So, yeah, you just have a moving wall of fur to stare at right now. Oh, that's something. What's that? That is a Schwabaway. I mean, he wouldn't be a cat if he wasn't just, you know, bloody awkward. It's just the nature of cats. That's going to be much too close. As for that. Oh, that's some different kind of something. Oop. Well, even though I can't ping it with the other thing, I can ping it with the composition scanner to see what it is exactly. Right, that's Concha labiata. Oh yeah, those are the ones. Those are the ones that look like the space eggs. Those are the ones that look like if you stick your face in them, something bad will happen. Look, see? See, it does. It looks like it's about to have a face hugger burst out, only it doesn't actually. It's just a plant, but yeah. Well, it literally, that just means, like, lips. So, yeah. I think that's literally just Latin for lips. Oh yeah, quarantine? I don't need to go into quarantine. I'm gonna bring them as gifts for all my friends. Yeah, they've tried to do proper Linnaean scientific naming. Oh. Okay, we just smacked to a dead halt on that one small rock, okay. Come on, more little shrubby things. There we go, a single lone shrub, that'll do. Back the way we came, and I can't actually follow my tracks. I don't know how long tracks persist for. Oh, where did they go? I've lost them. Well, now I can't tell which tracks are mine and which tracks are mine. That makes sense, right? Where are you, space eggs? There's some down there. That'll do. Okay, slight problem. There is now a cat lying on the cable for my mouse, but it's fine. It's his desk, it's his computer mouse, it's all his. He merely just graciously allows me to use it. Hey, Jerry. Oh yeah, this is where I saw that big blob, so yeah, I did come back in more or less the right direction. This is supposed to be, I mean, this is one of the worlds one can land on with an atmosphere. It's just quite a thin one. The longer I go on, the more I'm tempted just to hop back, just to see what the data I've collected is worth. But I think I'm going to have to hold myself disciplined. Keep going for a little bit longer. It's part of the aim of me venturing out and doing all this scanning and whatnot is to make some credits. But also it'd be quite nice to bump up my exobiologist rank, which is currently compiler. I can even get my explorer rank up a bit as well. So I've managed to get elite on trader already, which was actually not that long ago. that grasses? No, that's more of the shrubs. Hey, there's some. Whoop. So that's now fully sampled, so that's 2 of the 4 that we want to get. So we'll do what we did before, climb back up to orbit and then... we can see what the survey data says. Oh, there it is. Sometimes it takes just long enough that you start to wonder if you actually did call it or not.
Lighting gear deployed.
I haven't really found anything in terms of resources so far, but I suppose I haven't been paying that much attention to the scanner, so there might have been lots of blips that I've just not been paying attention to.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 3, 2, 1,
Well, let's see if I can actually remember what I have and haven't scanned already this time. Right, concha, yes. Shrubs, yes. So we're looking for tussocks and tubous towers. I'll have to figure out what terrain those reside in. I probably shouldn't look at the codex just now. That would be a really good way to spack into the ground and lose hours and hours of time spent scanning and millions of credits worth of data. That would be a bad plan. Let's not do that. I should probably do a little scouting around before I actually land this time as well. Oh, well, you know what? We've immediately spotted some bacteria. Do I want to grab it, though? Okay, I'm probably going to regret this, but... give it a go.
Landing gear deployed.
Bloody bacteria. If you're thinking the mouse movement is a little bit weird, yeah, cat. There's a cat in the way. Right, which direction is over on this side? There it is. For bacteria, we definitely just want to fly around until we see some more.
Landing gear retracted.
You can deploy fighters. I actually posed the question on the Elite Dangerous subreddit of if people had found any better ways to discover bacteria in particular, and someone suggested using a fighter for scouting purposes. But then, and you know, it's there's the spindly things that look like twiglets. We're looking for space twiglets. Okay, but yeah, isn't there like a limited, like 30-kilometer range? Like if you go too far in with the fighter from the ship, the fighter just gets destroyed. So I don't know. Yes, I can see the speed and maneuverability in being useful, but on the other hand, it kind of really limits the search radius. Right, so that'll be the tubus. So we're looking for tubus and grasses, basically. Also more bacteria. At least the tubus is fairly common. Or common enough, anyway. Is that grasses? Oh, that's grasses, okay. Ooh. Is that bacteria or is that just a shiny spot? That's not bacteria, okay. Of course, canonically in Elite Dangerous, there's no artificial gravity. So, as I'm doing this, basically, all the blood is rushing to the pilot's head. If you did this for long enough, you would just straight up black out, presumably. Oh, okay, we're actually low enough to the ground that I'm occasionally bonking off rocks and things that protrude. Game logic, exactly. I mean, when it comes to G-forces and whatnot, I don't think Frontier have ever bothered with any of that. They've never tried to do anything that simulates the effects on the actual human pilots of the maneuvers that you can pull off when you've turned off your assistance. When you pull too hard in glide mode. Okay, I didn't know that. So they do that at least? I guess. Does that not apply in combat though? Because you'd think it would. I'm half tempted just to say, I know I've got that one bit of bacterial data, but maybe we just say screw the bacteria. Nobody likes you, bacteria. Because you're a pain in the arse to actually find. Yeah, okay, let's find some grasses or some tubers then. Some space twizzlers. Oh, and of course, as I find some space twizzlers even. Ooh, that was too fast. There's another patch of bloody bacteria, so it's like, well, do I go for now 2/3 sample of bacteria, or do I? Bloody bacteria. I suppose I might as well grab it. Did I say Twizzlers? I meant Twiglets. Space Twiglets. Twizzlers are a whole other thing. There it is. Of course, naturally, right at the moment, I think, oh, I'm just going to give up, get another thing. More bacteria. Okay.
Landing gear retracted.
Clearly, that's the thing to do, is decide you're going to give up, and at that moment, more will appear. Yep, we're deep into the sunk cost fallacy at this point. Or something, I don't know. We're looking for more open ground, basically. Oh, that's a patch. Oh, that's a patch right there. Right, there we go. Bingo. We lucked out. Either that or the bacteria is just more common on this world. I don't know.
Landing gear deployed.
Some more grasses over there as well, so we'll pop out the SRV. Why was I looking at that panel? Don't need to look at that panel. Completely the wrong panel.
Low gravity warning.
Yay! I can kind of demonstrate what I was talking about earlier with when you have fully scanned a thing, it doesn't register on the composition scanner. So it goes, no new traits found. So basically it's like you've already discovered everything there is. So I don't know. I only have guesswork as to how that's supposed to be working. So we're actually going to get all of the available life forms on this planet, which is quite nice. Probably not far enough. This might be that. Also looks like there's actually some materials in this area as well, which I might grab before I take off. Yeah, it's basically space grass. Whoop. Oh, we had all the drugs earlier, all the drug jokes earlier. I actually posited the theory that Vista Genomics isn't actually a legit company. It's actually a front for a galactic drugs cartel. And the real reason they are willing to pay so highly for your genetic data is because, you know, they want to synthesize new substances for people to get high off. Oh God, imagine if this game actually had a player stock market. Right, so that's just the space twiglets left now. There were some more back towards where the ship was. Probably. I'm pretty sure they tried to do that in GTA 5 Online, because there was kind of a stock market thing in GTA 5. There was a sort of a mini game where you could basically like do certain illegal things, and this guy was like, well, if you do this to this person then it'll drive this stock price up, so you would like buy a bunch of stocks and then you could make a bunch of cash that way. But it was kind of like a limited set number of story missions for that in the game, and then it was supposed to be in the online as well, but I don't know if it ever was, or maybe it was for a little bit and they dropped it. The canned at launch, okay. So, yeah. Honestly, the only other game I've played at any point in my life that had any kind of stock market trading thing with other players, and I bet EVE Online does this, but I've never played that. But yeah, Neopets. Neopets has a stock market. Of all things. Oh, that's too close. I haven't logged into Neopets for years. I know it's still going there. But we're talking literally like 16, 17 years ago, 18 years. I don't know if it still has the stock market, actually. I just know it had it at the time when I was playing it all the way back when. Oh. Actually, I don't know why I'm going off this way. The twiglets aren't off in the hills. I mean, kind of, but no. A player commodity market's definitely, you know, like, sort of similar, but not really. I imagine Eve has a player-driven commodity market, purely player-driven, but I don't know if it has some kind of actual stock market mechanic going on as well. I mean, there's other games I've played with multiplayer that kind of have some vague sort of mechanic in that direction. Like in Transport Tycoon, for instance, you could literally buy up shares of your competitors' companies, but there wasn't really much more to it than click a button, buy 25% of their company. And if you managed to buy 100% of the company, then you bought the company outright. And I'm pretty sure that's a core mechanic of... oh God, what's it called? Give me a second, I'm going to have to look the name of this game up, otherwise it's going to bug me. Off-World Trading Company, there we go. Which has a similar thing where you're basically running a company competing against other companies, and if they buy all your stocks, or you buy all their stocks, that's kind of the end game condition. Oh, there we go, Isham got there before me. Railway Tycoon, okay, yeah, I've not played many post-Transport Tycoon transport games. I'm not surprised they've copied that as a feature. Off-World Trading Company is actually a really interesting little game. It's an economic, real-time strategy game. It's all about controlling resources and commodity prices, and basically competing against either other players or AI companies in visible terrain. And yeah, you can like sabotage them in various ways, or try and get monopolies on particular commodities. Yeah, it's a really interesting little game. I think it's on sale relatively often as well. And it's also got some DLC, which I've never played. Right, come on, Space Twiglets, where are you? I mean, I found a couple, but they've all been too close, apparently. Well, Space Twiglet right there. That one should be right for scanning. Let's do that first. I just want to eat it. It's a Space Twiglet. Although actually, it might actually be quite fleshy. The way it's wobbling around like that. That doesn't seem like a stiff, twigglety thing at all. Well, I can't help but imagining it as a nice, yummy, crunchy twiglet. Cat, you're really not... Cat! Cat, you are super not helping right now. Cat. I have such a limited range of motion with the mouse. I don't know if twiglets are even a thing in other countries. What am I doing? Oh.
Cargo scoop.
Put the cargo scoop down, that's what. It's kind of annoying you have to lock onto the things before you can scoop them up, and you can't just drive over them. least you have to constantly back up, but never mind. Wasn't there one over off in this direction as well? Or am I crazy and or misremembering? I actually haven't had Twiglets in ages, but they're little sticky, extremely savoury snack things that are probably highly unhealthy for you. Germanium, don't have a lot of that, that's a useful one. No, I want to... There we go. Oh, no, iron we've got. Well, there's both iron. I'll check on the contacts panel, actually. No? Pew pew! Yeah, they're both iron, okay.
Cargo scoop retracted.
Oh, it's because I'd locked onto my ship, and that's why it was a red cross and saying out of range. Yeah, no. Don't think I'm going to be able to hit my ship over 1 kilometre away with these little guns. Somehow. I think after I've hopped back in my ship after scanning the last space twiglet, I think I might call it there. I think that would be a good time to end it. Come on, Twiglets, where are you? FTL soundtrack goes with this game so well. If you want 50% again already? Oh, there we go, more Twiglets. And a final bit of materials collecting. It's almost a pity there isn't an odometer so you can see how far you've driven. Or a pedometer to see how far you've walked. Or a spaceometer to see how far your ship has flown. That's totally what it's called, a spaceometer. Absolutely. Tubus compagibus. That's the last of the things we wanted to scan.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Iron. No, I want the sulfur. There we go.
Cargo scoop retracted.
Alright, yeah, I'll head for the ship, and then I think that's going to be it for the evening. Ooh. It's fine. It's fine. Completely fine. Meant to do that. But for a rugged off-road vehicle, I mean, I know you throw it around a fair bit, but yeah. The moment you get into rougher terrain, you just start getting so dinged up so easily. It's not like you even get cracks appearing on the windscreen or dents in it. There are literally videos of people taking an SRV from one planet to another planet. Now, granted, these planets are in very close proximity and have very low gravity, but it has been done. It has absolutely been done. Why do I keep looking at that panel when... I don't know. Ah, right. Just as we come to the end of that music track as well, so that's good timing. So, let's find someone to host as we come to the end of this super duper high octane action packed stream. So high octane, my pants are literally on fire or something, I don't know. Who is doing the things right now? That's all NA folks mostly. Well, Stats Bloke is going. Who else is doing warships? I don't know, not that many people. At least not that many people with names I recognise. Oh, let's give you over to Stats Bloke, sure. It's a very solid pair of hands. So thank you all for those who did tune in after my long hiatus. You didn't point and laugh at me too much, which I appreciate. I hope you have enjoyed what you have seen, which is mostly me derping around in a rover and smacking into things. But, you know, that's quite a large part of exploration in this game, so yeah. There you go, Clyde. I was wondering if you'd suddenly discovered a new you turned over a leaf and just suddenly become a really nice person, but no, there we go. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hopefully will do this a little more regularly from now on, and might even do some warships next time, so yeah, we'll see. Anyway, have a good evening wherever you are, and I will catch you next time.